Welcome, everyone. Glad to have you back with me this week. I am Dara, and I'm your host. As I was preparing for this podcast this week, I was thinking about a little bit about what I had said last week about a ripple effect. A ripple effect is basically, simply put, a blessing, doing something for somebody else that blesses their life. Made me think about how many people don't really feel that they are qualified to be a blessing in somebody else's life, that they're not good enough to do that. Nobody really sees them, hears them, understands them. How could they be a blessing to somebody else? And what could they even do to be a blessing to somebody else? It made me think that that's where I was at one point in my life. I felt like I wasn't worthy, I wasn't enough, I wasn't good enough. I really didn't have anything to offer to anybody else. I was lucky enough to just get through day to day and hope that nobody could tell that I had a lot of fear, that I didn't feel like that I was good enough or worthy enough to be around anybody else or to be able to offer anything to anybody else, that I didn't have any gifts or talents or anything unique to me that made me stand out where I could do something for somebody else that would bless their life. The funny thing is that I really was doing things to bless many people's lives that I didn't even realize. As long as I can remember, I have had friends and other people come to me and ask me questions and tell me about something that was going on in their life and a circumstance or a situation, something they didn't know how to fix or resolve. And my brain went to working. I just started thinking about, well, how can I help them? How can I fix this for them? What resources are out there? What tools are there out there to help them in this situation, this circumstance? Although deep down, I was hoping I was doing something to help somebody out, I really didn't believe I was. How many of y'all out there listening have felt the same way or feel the same way today? Hopefully, I can help you with that. There's a scripture in the Bible that God gave me that really blessed my life, and it really changed my attitude about that, about myself and my abilities and my gifts and my talents and for me to be able to help other people like God created me to do, that I had a purpose and I had a reason for being here. And this scripture is Psalm 139, 13 through 16. And I'm going to read it for you. It says, "You brought my inner parts into being. You wove me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for you made me with fear and wonder. Marvelous are your works, and you know me completely. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret and intricately put together in the lowest parts of the earth. Your eyes saw me unformed, yet in your book all my days were written before any of them came into being." This really blessed my life to know that God chose me even before I was ever born. He created me to be specifically how I'm supposed to be, even with all my quirkiness, chose me to be the way He did. He gave me a specific thumbprint, just like He gave all of you out there a specific thumbprint. None of us have the same one. So each one of us has a specific purpose for being here. One of my mentors I heard recently say that there's somebody out there waiting on us, that God put somebody out there in the world that we live in today that needs something that we specifically have that God created us for. And I want to leave y'all with that today, to think about the fact that you are worthy, you are blessed, you are favored, you are loved, you are uniquely and wonderfully made, and you have something to offer. Grab a hold of that thought and keep it close at heart and start thinking about maybe the things that are your gifts and your talents Make a list of them. Start asking yourself those things. Sit with God and journal and ask Him, what are your gifts and your talents? What do I have to offer? What do I have unique to me that I can use to bless other people's lives? You'll be surprised that you'll start figuring out maybe that's what your purpose is and what God has planned for you. You could try something that I recently did. I reached out to family and friends of mine, and I simply asked them 3 questions. Number 1, what do you think about when you think about me? In other words, an example would be like when we think about McDonald's, we think about French fries and burgers. When we think about Pizza Hut, we think about pizza. So when they think about you, what do they think about? What comes to mind? And number 2, what would you tell people? You should go to whatever your name is for whatever they can do. So in other words, when I asked him, I said, what would you tell people? You should go to Dara for this. She could do that to help you. And number 3, when we were kids, what did I play and what did I gravitate to most? Those were the 3 questions that I asked family and friends. And to my surprise, a lot of the things that they said to me were all things that I have realized about myself over the years. How they saw me and how they viewed me is how I see and view myself now. So I would challenge you to do that yourself and see what they say about you. You'll find it to be a very encouraging and inspiring experience in this episode today. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to being with you next time. Don't forget, you can connect with me, daralee.com on my website. I will see you next time. Be encouraged, be blessed, and be a ripple effect this week in somebody's life.